What have I had to drink here?
Well, we started out drinking one of our lighter offerings. You know, Irish whiskey is not a very heavy or oily or smoky, challenging style usually, and this is no exception. It's Slieve Foy. It's an 8-year-old single malt. It's produced by Cooley Distillery, which does all any bottlings that are independent. Really, mostly come from Cooley. This is no different. It's double distilled. It's aged in bourbon barrels. So it has a wonderful texture to it, very creamy, easy to drink, pretty sweet but not overly sweet. You can't go wrong with it. You can easily. And then I think you moved on to the bourbon, right?
Right.
You know, Hirsch is the classic American bourbon. You know, it's definitely one of the iconic brands from one of the oldest distilleries in America.
These are very bad times for Steve, however. His mother had recently died. Lucy's was not doing well anymore. It was in danger of folding. He and Al Mathis leased Lucy's to some new operators. Lila, because of all the bad press, tries to commit suicide as well. And Steve just says, to hell with this, I'm out of here. Paris. There are no pictures of this era. And with good reason. For the next 2 years, Steve rolls to Paris, and he lives like an absolute king. He is famous. He's immediately welcomed into high society because he's the ex-husband of the one and only Lana Turner. He hobnobs with the rich and famous, hangs out with Aristotle Onassis, Prince Rainier. He bounces back and forth between the south of France and North Africa. And to support his endeavors, he becomes a smuggler.
There are limits to smell. We can't smell everything. There are certain things that give off molecules. We can't smell them. Iridium 440, I think, gives us molecules. We don't know what it smells like. If the molecule is too dense, then the current won't flow. It's just too thick to get through, and we smell nothing.
And then you tried the Yoichi.
Yes.
There you go. Can't go wrong with that stuff.
No, that's fantastic.
Yeah, this was a pleasant surprise.
Well, you know, the thing about Nikka is that it was founded by Tatsukuro. I think I'm saying his name right. Taketsuro. Sorry if my Japanese is failing. But he's the founder of Japanese whiskey. He went to Scotland for Suntory. He found out all about whiskey distilling, set up Suntory's program, and then his dream was to really do his own thing. So he went off and he went to the north of Japan. He founded the Yoichi Distillery, which was his first distillery. And he's considered the father of Japanese whiskey, and this is where he perfected his game. And Yoichi is iconic.
Instead of leaving it for longer in the same sherry cask, let's try double finishing. So let's put it in another Oloroso cask, but a newer Oloroso cask. But they ship Japanese sherry casks rather than Oloroso. So it's 8 to 10 of bourbon, it's a year in Oloroso, it's a year in Eminence, and they just ish. It's not. There's no age statement. It's more of a flavor than about. It's about maturity. You want to join us?
12 years. Nothing but the best. You're right. Glendronach 15. It's a Highland malt, and it's very unusual because since the day one of their history, they've always produced fully sherry cask matured whiskeys. And this is a 15-year-old. It's matured in Oloroso sherry cask. It's beautifully vinous with all the extracted notes you'd expect from Oloroso sherry. It's very nutty. It's got honey. It's got the oily kind of linseed oil characteristics that you'd expect, and it's just fantastic. It's
to help avoid mistakes, he said every drink should be equal parts mixed, equal parts rum. And what they did was, in the back of this giant room full of 20 people, everything was specialized. You had a station, the drinks were put on a conveyor belt. There was the ice guy, the lime guy, the rum guy, the garnish guy, the guy who did the ice sculptures, the guy who poured the pineapples, all of it conveyor belt style. That's how they could get these drinks out fast enough. The volume is just absolutely tremendous. Again, for anybody in doubt, your grandparents drank really a lot of them.